channel. I hope everybody's had a good week. It is Thursday of May. It's the 2nd of May. Yes. 2019. This is my Friday Chit Chat on Thursday. I hope most of y'all know about the Diamond Paint-a-thon this weekend. So I thought I would do my Chit Chat today and put it out there on Thursday instead of Friday. So I'm working on some 310s. I'm going to be knocking out my final 310s off this Mandy Manzano piece. So I'm hoping to be done with that part today. And then tomorrow I can finish up my scattered pieces. And then hopefully by then I will have my diamonds that I have run out of. Yes, I have run out of colors on this Diamond Art Club picture. Sad thing about it is, it's the second set of colors I've ran out of this picture. I had to have emailed Diamond Art Club twice on the 2 colors I ran out of. They got the diamonds in the mail within a day, and then I got them like 3 days later. I emailed Diamond Art Club Saturday on this set of diamonds that I'm missing, and I still haven't got them. So I don't know where they're at. I've already checked the mail for today, so I am going to contact them again today sometime to find out if they're going to send me my diamonds. Now, being on the last, it's less than last of a quarter that I have to get done. You know, you're afraid about running out of more colors because you pour them in your container and you're like, that's not going to be enough, and turns out it is enough. That's where I'm at on this painting now. Every color I pick up, I'm afraid I'm going to run out. But I haven't, other than them 2 colors that I'm waiting on. It's awful because I have gaps here, I have gaps here, and it's just so sad seeing them gaps. I even got them up here, way up here. I don't know if y'all can see. I got some up here, got some down here, and then this way is what I have left. Not even all of it in shadow. This right here, over that way, and you can see where the band is here, so not very much. So my week has been pretty good. I've been babysitting my caramel mocha babies. They are precious to me. I'll do anything for them. This is Thursday. I'm ready to be done with the week. My daughter has 2 more weeks of school, and then she has 2 weeks of work etiquette, 2 weeks of work etiquette, you know, to show them the proper etiquette at work in a doctor's office. I don't know if they have a different etiquette code, but most people know that. But you know, because it's a school, they do it as a class and charge them another couple thousand for it. But anyway, I digress. I'm being snide now. 2 weeks of business etiquette, and then she does 2 weeks of externship. So I actually only have 4 weeks left to go after today of babysitting these babies, because once she starts her externship, that'll be during the day, and they can go in daycare during the day. Because Nana already told Mama that Nana couldn't watch them during the day. I couldn't physically handle it. I have a hard time at night. You know, we've got our routine. I'm normally fixing supper when they get here, and I finish it up shortly after. So, cook supper. I cool theirs off. While theirs is cooling off, I kind of clean the kitchen up some. And we come in here and we set up their little dinner table. They like to help pull back the legs. It's one of them little bitty child tables that's got the 4 legs that fold underneath it. So they like to pull out them legs, so they each get to pull out a leg. Get their chairs, they set them up, and they get out their little placemat and put it down, and they get their cups and they'll set it down, and then they'll sit down, and then I'll give them their plate. They'll eat, and I'll eat with them. I say that I eat with them while I'm in my chair. I don't stand up and watch over them. When they get done, we get up and we clean off their table and clean off the top of it, and then fold it back up, put it up, and they like to help with that. Because it would definitely be easier if they would let me do it. I can do it in more than half the time. But no, they won't allow it. So they fold it up and everything, and then they play for a little bit. Come 7:30, if they want, they get to color. They normally play around with that. I have to watch the baby. Now, granted, he's just 1.5. So when I say colors, I have to make sure he doesn't eat the crayons. He likes to pick them up and peel the paper off of them and then break them in half and throw them. That's his idea of coloring. And then he'll pick it up and he'll go over his paper like he's coloring, but he's not doing it. And then he'll wad up his paper and throw it around for a while. Now, the other one's 2.5. He really likes to color, but brother just gets in his way too much. You know, he's a little older to do some things that brother can't do, but, yeah, brother's mean. Little brother's mean to big brother, because big brother spent the first year of his life picking on him, so little brother's bigger than big brother now, weight-wise, not height, but, so here, he's a chunk ball, and he's no longer letting brother pick on him, so now brother's running for help. Nana, Nana. I'll look over there and Sawyer will be sitting on Brady, and Sawyer's the young one. He'll be over there sitting. I'm like, well, get up, and he goes, I can't. I said, yeah, you can. And so he'll roll over, and so Sawyer will roll over on him, and then they'll go rolling on the floor, and then they start laughing at each other. They're so fun to sit and watch. Brady likes to watch 8 Seconds, which is a cowboy movie about Lane Frost. He was a bull rider from Oklahoma that died in the mid-80s. There's a scene in the movie to where there's a wedding, and they do this little kind of stomp scene, and that kid can dance to every step of that song that the boys are doing on the television. At the very end, one of them even falls, and he does the fall too. Because once he does the fall, he knows it's over with, and he'll go and look at you to make sure that you've been looking at him. So cute. So cute. I need to film a little video when I get my room cleaned up enough. I need to get a video together of them playing and just show you how cute they are playing. And insert it, you know, at the front of my video or at the end of the video, and they're just so fun to watch. You know, but who wouldn't enjoy watching the 2.5 and 1.5-year-old babies? Yep, them are my babes. I wish, you know, when you're in chat rooms and stuff, that when you type out something, you could get the attitude that you could. of whatever you're thinking about. You know, because you can type babes, but it's not like, you know, it's like babies. Like, I love my grandbabes, but when you type it, it's babies. And when I say, hey, all my diamond painting buddies, it reminds me of Pauly Shore in that movie where he gets a friend in college. What is the name of that? That they're in college. The country girl goes to the big city college. He goes back home with her on Thanksgiving, and he's this weird, cool kid. You know, it's just he's so weird, but when he goes around, he'll say, buddies. So when I go into the chat room and I say, hey, all my diamond painting buddies, now y'all know why I'm saying buddies. So now you can get that stuck in your head. Buddies. Can't think of any other things I go into a chat room thinking when I say something. Oh no, I think there's one more, but I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. I know when Dearly Crafted comes into a room, when I'm in there, or I come into the room and she's in there, every time she says hi or I say hi, I go, Dearly, because it reminds me of that song, Truly Scrumptious, in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Truly scrumptious. Yeah, I can't sing, so don't hold it back. You're truly, truly scrumptious. Scrumptious as a cherry peach parfait. Yes, I know the words to that because my grandson did nothing but watch it twice a day, Monday through Thursday, for 2.5 months. That's all I watched for 2.5 months. And mind you, they're too small. I can't diamond paint while they're here. The only time I could do that is if they went and hung out in the living room with my mom, but I can't leave them in there like that with her. So, yeah, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. 2.5 months. 4 days a week. Twice a night. Yeah. Can y'all get the violins out for me now? Yuppers. Oh, son of a biscuit eater. Just hit my toe on my easel. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Oh, it's my little pinky toe. It's not my big toe, it's my little pinky toe. Oh, oh. If it had been my big toe, I'd have broke it. I've broke my big toe so much that it doesn't take much to break it now. I go around the corner and I hit a door stump, whatever it is, door jamb, I will break it every time. So I dig out the tape. I've got a special board that the doctor gave me after about the third time of breaking it. He says, here, this will help in your recovery. Just some kind of, it's like a tongue suppressor, but it's a lot shorter, but you stick it underneath your toe and then you tape it up. So, however that goes. Yeah. Because I say I break my big toe. Now, this is just on my right side. It's not on my left. Maybe 3 times a year, but it's 3 too many. Because that hurts. Hurts like a biscuit eater. I got this tag I could start, but I thought I would try to start this video out just talking, let y'all get to know me a little bit. Like I said, I have a hard time thinking about things to talk about. You know, I do have my grandbabies now, and I feel a little more comfortable starting to tell their stories some. But there's not a whole lot of them that I remember, because I have a big problem with my short-term memory, and then I have a mild case of long-term memory. Now, my long-term memory is that one day I might remember something, but then the next day not, where I remember it and then I don't. And this is kind of a sad story, but this last Thanksgiving, I went to her in-laws with her for Christmas. Her husband had to go out of town working. She didn't want to go down there by herself. Um, it's me, her, and my oldest daughter for Thanksgiving now, since me and their dad are separated or whatever, and it's just become too big of a hassle. And she was going to be at her friend's house, so it's just going to be me and my daughter for Thanksgiving here. And she's like, well, you want to go down there with me because I don't want to drive by myself? And I'm like, sure. So we go down there, we have Thanksgiving, we drive back. We're in my vehicle, so we have to drop her off first when we get back in town. We go drop her off and get her unloaded, and I go to the door and I seen a picture of the cat on the wall. Well, that wall picture is dedicated to our fur babies that we have lost. And up there was my Gus. I can tell you about my Gus in a little bit. And my cat that died, yeah, I lost a cat and a dog, but the cat died, I think, 6 years ago, and then Gus died 2 years ago. And so his cat's picture was up on the wall, and I'm like, what happened to Felix? His cat name was Felix. My cat's name was Oscar, like Oscar and Felix of the old Odd Couple. But anyway, he's like, it doesn't matter, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I want to know. I said, please tell me. And I'm crying because I just found out the cat had died. Well, he wouldn't tell me. So when my daughter come back outside for her last load of stuff, I asked her, I said, tell me what happened to the cat. And this is the sad part. I had forgotten 6 months prior to that I ran over the cat. The cat was 17 years old. He was deaf and blind. I had started up my vehicle, and we had all gotten in, and I just put it in reverse and started backing up when the cat jumped up from the storm cellar door where he was at and ran right underneath the vehicle, and I ran over him. And I forgot about that whole situation. I got myself upset over running over that cat again. It's like losing it twice. So that's kind of my issue with long term. I might remember something one day and not the next. So yeah, and then the same thing with the my week. One day I might remember it, and one day I might not. But my memory is better a week at a time. But once we get going, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the worse my memory gets. Yeah, I'm sitting here vaping for a minute. My throat feels dry today. I feel like I'm talking under my deep tone. I was going to tell you about Gus. Okay, so I got this dog. I got a picture of him as a puppy right here on my phone. Let me look, see if I can find it really quick. But anyway, I got this big fur baby, and he just was like this goofy little puppy. And so when, we were playing with him, we took him home, and we were playing with him. He was just this big goofy baby, so I had named him Gus Gus after the Gus on Cinderella, the big fat dog or mouse that Gus Gus, Gus Gus. Okay, it's gonna take me a minute. There's my big fluffy fur baby. Yeah, ain't he cute? He's so cute. Of course, he was a part Australian Shepherd, Labrador mix, and I had him for I think 9 years, around 9 years, and he hadn't acted sick or anything. Now he had arthritis in his legs, and he had broke his foot when he was a little younger playing. He's one of them that ran up and he would jump up in the air and catch balls and frisbees and stuff like that. Well, one time he came down, he come down on a toy and he broke his foot. And ever since he broke his foot, he was never quite right. I don't know why. Once his foot healed, he walked fine. But you could just tell he had a hard time getting around. And one evening, he just come sit down beside me. I sit there and petted him and watched TV all night, because that's what he did. He'd come up on the couch and he'd get in my lap and snuggle. I'd just sit there and pet him and pet him and pet him. So I was doing that for a long time, and then it's time to get up and go to bed. And when I got up, he lifted his head up, and then he put it back down, and I went to put him out, and he wouldn't get down off the couch. And mind you, this dog probably weighed 180 to 200 pounds. He was a big dog. I couldn't physically lift him down off the couch to get him to go out. I couldn't get him to go out in the bathroom. And my husband was asleep, so I thought, well, what's wrong with the dog? And so I decided I would stay in the front room with him. About 2 o'clock in the morning, he started shaking, and I started petting him. It was like he was having a seizure, so I went ahead and I jumped up and got my husband, told him to come in there and look at him, and I sit down with him and held his head and sit there and petted him, and he just passed away. We didn't have the money to go have him tested to find out what happened to him or whatever, but it was like he just had a seizure, and he just slowly went away, and he went in my arms, and that's the most precious thing that a dog owner could ever have when they're losing a baby, is for them to be there to send them off to their next journey. He was the best dog, and everybody keeps asking me when I'm going to get another dog or a cat. I don't know if they don't understand, but just not ready. And it's not just mentally and physically ready to have another animal. It's, how to explain it? Let me take a break from this for a minute. How to explain it? One, I feel like I'll never find a talented dog like this dog was. He was so easy to train as far as potty training, chasing balls, bringing them back, you know, catching frisbees in the air. You know, it was just something to come natural to him. And the cat that I had, we had him to where he was house potty trained. He literally went to the door, we let him out, just like a dog, and he would go out and do his business, and he'd come back in and play. So how many can say that they have a cat that is outdoor potty trained? I mean, there is a lot of people out there that have cats that are potty trained um, outdoors, but it's not a common thing. It's not like every other cat goes outside to poop. I mean, they use the litter box. And I'll probably never find another dog as good as my Gus Gus. You know, and you know in your heart when you're ready for another one, and that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for my heart to tell me that I can handle another one. But I just, right now I'm not to that point. I'm not one that can just lose an animal and then go back right into getting another one. I have to be emotionally ready to be a mommy again. And, you know, that's what you are. You're a parent to this animal. And you get just as emotionally involved with the animals as you do your kids. Some might scoff at that, but that's the way I do it anyway. When I get an animal, that animal's just important to me as my kids. Now, if two were falling off a ledge and I could only save one, obviously I'm going to save my daughter. That's in a worst case scenario. But if they're sick, they go to the doctor. If they need medication, I give it to them however I have to do it. Whether I have to shove it down their butt or shove it up their butt or shove it down their mouth. You know, I'm going to do it to take care of this puppy. And it's sad in the world that all these animals are being born and people are just abusing them. So here's my PSA for the day. Please have your animals spayed or neutered to where we can control the overpopulation of animals that as a population we don't have room for. So I see every animal, you know, it's alive. And there's just an overpopulation. So yes, have your animals spayed or neutered. That's my PSA for the day. So now y'all know why I don't have another doggy. I will have another one in my lifetime. And when I get one, it'll after having Gus Gus be so big, I want like a miniature or toy poodle. I have to, before I get any miniature animals, I really got to look into it because some of the miniature or teacup have a lot of health issues. And if they do have a health issue where they have a less tendency to live longer, I won't get it. I'm not going to invest money or my heart on something that might not live as long because they're being bred too small. So no, you know, they have to breed animals together to get the small ones. They have to do that to get the big ones. And then they just start breeding each other, and then they've got this new breed of puppy, or dogs, however you want to say it. So, I have to look into that. My dream dog used to be a Great Dane. I always wanted a Great Dane or a Saint Bernard. The Great Danes have a high death rate within 5 to 6 years. And because their body's too big for their hearts, they have a lot of health issues. So that's what's kept me from getting a Great Dane. Now, there's Great Danes out there that live longer. Some might have them for years. But if you look it up, they have more of a tendency to die early than they do to live longer. So I don't want one that I can't have for years. And it's the same thing with the Saint Bernard. Saint Bernards are so fluffy and cute, especially as puppies. But their bodies are too big for their hearts, and they don't live as long. I used to work for a vet in close to my hometown. You know, we would go to town, and I lived in a small town called Dibble, Dibble. My senior class, we graduated 19 people. So when we needed groceries, we had to go to town to get groceries. I mean, we had literally one stoplight, and that was at the Four Corners to go to 4 different bigger towns. It had a stop sign up by the school, and that was it. One horse town. But anyway, when we went to town, we had to go to this town, and it was named Blanchard. They had a vet there, and so I had gotten my first animal. Before I had gotten him, I had made arrangements with the veterinarian. I told him, I said, hey, I will work for you free of cost if you'll neuter my dog. Actually, it was a spade because it was a she. If you'll spade my dog, and if y'all don't know, spading a dog is a lot expensive than neutering a male dog. So I asked him, I said, can I work a couple days in your shop and pay for, her neutering? I said, I don't care, I would clean out troughs, I'd, go shovel shit if we needed it. That I'd do anything until he felt I'd paid off my debt. And he's like, yeah, you can work so-and-so hours for like 5 days. And I said, can I work on a weekend? Because I know that weekends are your busier days, and I really want, to help you out with the animals and stuff. And he's like, sure. So after I had actually paid off her being spaded, he offered me a job. And I was like, you betcha. I loved working in that vet office. If he hadn't gotten old and retired, I'd have probably still been working there. But after about, I think it's 4 years I worked with him, and he semi-retired, and then he sold the practice, and they brought in their own people. So, I was out of a job, but that's okay. I had a good time enjoying it. But, well, that's a long story to get into what I was saying. He had a Saint Bernard, and I got to take care of it every day. So it's kind of like having my own. But he was the one that told me about the Saint Bernards and the Great Danes having short lifespan. And I asked him, I said, if they have short lifespans, why would you get one? And he said, being a vet, that every dog is just as important as others, that they need a home just as much as the other dogs do. And I started crying because I'm like, I still to this day have a problem getting a dog that I know might not have a good life. But I remember his statement every time I say it. Just like before, when I was telling that story, it brought up him for me, telling me that You know, would you not care for a sick person or somebody you knew that had a disease that wasn't going to live long to a dog that had a short lifespan? You know, that I'm not having a good time explaining it, but it's basically all dogs need a home no matter what type of lifespan they have. But, yeah, it brings me back to that every time I say it. But there are people out there that don't care. You know, they love the animal, they're going to get it. I'm not saying I don't love them, because I still to this day want them. My heart just can't handle heartache, so I try to get things that are going to live as long as they can. So if I'm wrong about it, just let me know. You know, I'm having guilty feelings now saying that. Yippers. My little toe hurts so bad. We'll stop and get a drink here for a minute. Oh, sorry about that. Said I think that making it scratchier more than usual. I think I vaped more yesterday and last night. Of course, my mama, she'll come by the door and she'll see me asleep with it in my hand, and she says I vape in my sleep. So I just happen to fall asleep with my vape in my hand, and she says that I'm vaping. Of course, I'm thinking I'm awake because I see her and I know what she's talking about, but she sees me as vaping in my sleep. But being I'm an insomniac, I don't sleep much anyway. So I gotta clean my glasses here. So everybody ready for the DP-a-thon? I know I am. I'm going to be doing as of right now, my second live. I'm thinking about doing one more test Friday during the day, because I've got to go to the grocery store tomorrow. I got to go mail off a couple packages. I've got to go to the vape store. And that's going to be an all-day deal with me and my mother. My mother likes to take her time, and we can be at the grocery store for 4 hours. Yeah, she's not fun to go to the grocery store with. If I'm by myself, I can go in and get a month's worth of groceries in 30, 45 minutes. I can get in and out pretty quick. Have a tendency to forget a few more things, but, you know, it's not things that might not be that important to where we actually really need them. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start this tag. I know we don't have a lot of time to do a lot of it, but we'll do some anyway. Okay, the first question is, how did you find out about DPN? I found out through Wish. I had ordered a picture online at Wish, thinking it was a mandala flower. When it come in, here was this picture with a plastic cover on it. You pulled it off and it was sticky. I had no idea what it was. My mom had no idea what it was. We played around with it for 2 or 3 days trying to figure out how to work it. What's going on? I contacted Wish and said they sent me the wrong thing, and they gave me my money back. And it sat in the corner for 6 months. Um, I was on Facebook one day and that ad, the ad with paint with diamonds, I think, came on. And I seen it and I'm like, whoa, is that what I think it is? So I went to their website and I seen all the paintings and I thought, well, I'm going to look into this. So I got on YouTube and put in 5D diamond painting, because that's how it was referred to on their website, was 5D diamond painting. And I found one lady, it had Diamond Painting 101. So I watched her and seen how she diamond painted. She did more tips and tricks than anything. And then Ella from Kicking Cancer's Butt and Diamond Painting with Donnie were the next ones that come up. From there, just put in diamond painting, and Miss Coffee came up, Rachel Ray come up, Dearly Crafted come up. So I just started watching their videos and found out about it. And so I ordered another pitcher, because the first pitcher I ordered, the reason we couldn't get it to work is it didn't come with the glue. The toolkit did not have glue in it, so we had no clue how to get the diamonds on the pen, and we didn't know how to get the diamonds to stick to the pen to where we could put it on the canvas. So that's why we had no idea. Hi guys, I'm back. I don't know where we got cut off. I don't know if it was before the tag or after the tag, but I just wanted to come back in here, say my goodbyes. Hi, goodbye. I will watch the video, find out if it even made it to the tag, because I don't know when it shut off. But that's okay. I was just ranting and going on answering these tag questions. But alright, everybody, have a nice day. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. If not, who cares? Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that bell if you want notifications of future videos. Y'all have a nice day, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.